Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome in, everyone, and welcome back to Postgame Lives with Liv Moods. Listen, guys, it's been a while. I really did think I needed to take a little bit of a mental break. It was a long season last year, as you guys can imagine, 82 games plus the postseason. We covered just about every game doing a postgame live. And as you can tell, and as you know, these games can go late, especially if they're overtime, especially if you're watching SGA foul baiting and standing at the free throw line the entire night. Goes into overtime, goes into double overtime, can't get him off my screen. My Nuggets are starting late, and overtime for the Denver Nuggets, despite being up for a good amount of this game, playing really, really well. I think we all, as Denver Nuggets fans, know that feeling of here comes the palpitations, here comes the high blood pressure. We're in that moment where, you know, as the game starts to get towards that fourth quarter, you do understand that the Denver Nuggets are just going to give you a heart attack. That's just how they do it. That's how they operate. I see you guys trickling in. Please jump in the comment section. You guys, if you've done these post-game live shows with me before, we've had so many people on at once into like the wee hours of the morning, especially my East Coast people. I do have a lot of East Coast people that typically hang out. So if you're tuning in, joining me, whatever the case, let me know in the chat. Yeah, you guys, crazy game. I'm just going to give you like immediate reactions. And then I actually have a special guest that's going to be hopping on who is joining the Gorilla Sports family. So I want to introduce you guys to her because she will be helping with our Denver Nuggets coverage. But of course, Jimmy. I get it. Listen, it is an actual honor to watch Steph Curry play basketball. And I can say that with my tail tucked between my legs, feeling quite like a sore loser. I don't lose well. You guys know this. You guys have been on these shows before. I don't lose well at all. I'm very competitive. I want the best for my teams. And I don't know what's in the Denver air lately. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. You guys know I don't really follow the hockey world like at all. But pretty sure they had a crazy game. The Broncos game I just went to was insane. This Nuggets game felt like a playoff game. Like, I don't know. Denver sports right now feels like it's just very exciting, high energy, super competitive. And I do have to say this before we bring our guests on. I'm going to just touch on this for a quick second. This, you can already tell, is shaping up to be an exceptionally competitive NBA season. I think it's going to be a bloodbath from start to finish. We've watched OKC now going to their first two games of the season have both gone into overtime. The Nuggets went into overtime today versus the Warriors. The Warriors, despite being the oldest team in the NBA, look really stinking good. I mean, Steph Curry looks really stinking good. What did he account for? Like, over 20 points in the fourth quarter alone. He really, truly scored every point for them almost in the fourth quarter. Steph Curry is him. He's like that. He truly is the greatest shooter I have had the privilege to witness in my life. I just think it's an honor to watch him play basketball. And as much as I hate losing to him, he is phenomenal. He is. So we're going to get into all the details. Gregory, I did see you tweet at me and say this, and you might be right. You might be onto something. I do think that the Warriors are always going to be a threat when you have Steph Curry. And especially if you have Draymond Green making his threes, like what was that? And playing the whole time and not, fouling out or being ejected. Like this really could be a squad. And you've got Jimmy, Jimmy buckets. So here's the deal, guys. The Warriors are going to be great. OKC is going to be great. Can't count out the Clippers if Kawhi's healthy and playing, if he's not in, legal trouble. By the way, I'm sure you all want to know my thoughts on everything happening in the NBA. Mood Swings. I'm sorry, Liv Moods. That's my name. Mood Swings is happening tomorrow. So we will deep dive into all of that. I've kept it very radio silent today as I just gather information on what's going on so I don't misspeak. But we will discuss it for sure tomorrow, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So just tune into Mood Swings as you do, and we will get into all of that. Okay. Without further ado, let's bring in a special guest. Like I said, she is going to be helping with our Denver Nuggets coverage, and thank goodness. I was very tired last season, and we were doing our very, very best, but there's so many games in a season, and there's so much to talk about, and there's so much excitement all the time. So let's just bring her in and let her introduce herself to you guys because you'll be seeing her face more. I need to make sure I do this correctly. Hold on one second. There we go. Hello.
Hi, everyone. My name is Gianna Girardi. I'm super excited to be joining the Gorilla family this year.
Yes, we are very excited to have you. So For those that don't know you, give a little intro about yourself and what you do. And obviously, now you're covering the Denver Nuggets, but you were with the Rockies, working with the Rockies, which is very, that's a very unique experience, all things considered, with the Rockies being, I don't want to say a bad team, but maybe hard to watch for some people. So kind of just give us a little bit of who you are and yeah, so we can get to know you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Gianna here. I am a Colorado native, been a Colorado sports fan my whole entire life, so super excited to be covering the Nuggets this season. I was working as the Rockies in-game host this whole summer. Wish we could have won a few more games, but had the absolute best time. It truly was so fun, but basketball is one of my favorite sports, so super excited to be bringing you guys all the inside scoop. I'll be at
Love
all the
it.
games. I'll be post game and interviewing players. So hopefully we'll get some good content out to you all.
Yes, and I'm sure you will. Honestly, I think based on what we saw just tonight alone, I think there's a lot to discuss. You've got CB, who just signed a 5-year, $125 million contract. So he's here to stay. I have chat. Don't worry. Don't worry. I don't want to scare Gianna the first time I'm meeting her. So I'm not going to go like crazy just yet, but just know it's coming. You guys are probably already trying to figure out why I'm keeping it so like cool. And Gianna, just to give you some background, this post game live show that we did almost every game last season truly became just a therapy session because, as you can imagine, there were a lot of games where it was like, oh, we just lost to the Wizards.
Sometimes you need it.
Talk about it. Yeah. So we just truly vented and just got everything off of our chest and it felt really, really good. So that's kind of what these shows are about. So I'm sure they're wondering, like, why aren't you screaming? Why aren't you frustrated? We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. But to start, I kind of want to get your thoughts, Gianna, on what you saw tonight and maybe any predictions or hot takes that you have for the Denver Nuggets this upcoming season.
Yeah, I feel like I'm already starting needing therapy. That was kind of a disappointing second half from the Nuggets there. I think they started off strong. I was excited in that first half and really surprised to see how much Adelman really used that bench. He's definitely utilizing them and trying to give those starters some rest, which came as a bit of a surprise to me today, especially this early on in the season. Aaron Gordon obviously kind of carried the team tonight, had a career high 50 points. So that was exciting to see him doing well. I think that could be many of the players on our team. Kind of just depends who's hot night in and night out. But Steph Curry really just took over the game in that second half. So unfortunate ending there, late one, overtime. What can you do?
Yeah, no, honestly, I think it's always tough. I feel like the Nuggets always play very, very competitive games and down to the wire games against the Warriors. It just seems to always happen that way. And I think that environment is tough to play in, especially if you have Steph in the kitchen cooking, getting hot. There is just no stopping him. I mean, I knew the moment he had that like damn near logo 3, I was like, oh shit. I mean, it was like I automatically was like, oh God, like if we can't. And then you've got a 3-point shooter like Al Horford. You can't count him. The second you smother Steph Curry and get him under control, you still got Jimmy Buckets. You've still got Al Horford. Even Buddy Hield will give you some threes every once in a while. So I do know for a fact the Denver Nuggets have struggled for some time now with their perimeter defense. It's always been a struggle of theirs. It's always been something that they've needed to improve. I think it got better for sure in the offseason, and they have more weapons in order to make that happen. But it's just tough. If you let that Warriors team get hot from the 3, it feels impossible to stop them if you've let them get started. That's how this game felt anyways to me.
For sure. And I think first half they kind of did a better job at shutting that down. I mean, Steph Curry only had 1 3 to start, so we did good at the start there, but definitely cooled off and on our shooting as well. So struggled in that aspect.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think this was one of those games where, I didn't love this performance by Nikola Jokic. You guys know, I'm sure you're in the chat saying, Liv, it's time to start being honest. Yes, yes, yes. Here I go. Nikola Jokic did not have a great game, actually.
Nope.
He looked pretty slow. He looked a little out of shape to me. He just this to me, but here's what I'm going to tell Nuggets fans before we all hit the panic button after game 1. Very easy to do. I'm not a good loser. However, before we hit the panic button, we have to understand Jokic will rarely play that bad. Rarely.
Yep.
You'll get that
And still
here
got
and
a
there.
triple-double.
Yeah, he did still have a triple-double. Sadly, watching the game, even with a triple-double, that was not his best at
Shot
all.
was off for
It was a
sure.
very disappointing. It's funny because with a guy like Nikola Jokic, he even with a triple double, it can still be a bad game. And that's the reality with him. And honestly, that was a bad game for Jokic. So to me, what I noticed in this game, what felt good about this game, if we're going to take away a positive, is this game proved that Jokic has a supporting cast, which is something that Nuggets fans have been desperate for so long, is just getting him support, getting him a backup center so he can sit the bench and rest his body. You got AG firing it up early. I know Cam Johnson kind of had a bad night. You had a lot of guys, despite this game being very close and very competitive, you did have a lot of guys that didn't really have a great performance. Cam Johnson was not hot at all offensively. CB did not do a whole lot, which we'll get to that in a second, guys, because, I don't want him settling in and getting comfortable now that he's been paid. We're not doing that. So you had a really great game. It was very close. It was very competitive. It went into overtime, and you didn't get the best out of all of the guys on this team. You got really great performances from guys like AG. Jamal was hot early, but you didn't get a super great performance from everyone. So I think there's still hope, guys. We still have a lot of positive things to take away from this. But yeah, Jokic, believe it or not, even with a triple double, not a great night for him at all. Not at all. Yeah. So any thoughts as well from you on just the season as a whole, maybe teams you're looking at in the Western Conference versus the Eastern Conference? Do you have any hot takes, any futures picks, or things that you're looking at ahead of the season? I know the season has technically already started, but things that you're looking at as the season progresses.
Yeah, I've been super excited. I think there were a lot of great changes made in the offseason. We definitely added a lot of depth to the team. I think it's going to be super important to be able to give that core some more rest and kind of merge the shooting and defensive end more seamlessly. I think that'll be very beneficial for the Nuggets this season. So although, as you mentioned, we didn't see a great night from many of our players, I think there is an exciting season ahead of us.
Of course.
I did a little video earlier today, put a few hot takes in. I'm looking for 50 wins.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Blanking on it. What is our franchise record right now? 57. I'm looking for 58.
Okay. So you're looking for a new record.
Hot take, we're going bold. I think we're going to break a record. We're a deep team. We might get it done.
Love it.
Not much of a hot take, but I think we've got a good playoff run ahead of us. I think Nikola Jokic should win MVP. He's going to prove all season. Tonight he didn't really do that, but everyone deserves an off night every once in a while. So
absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Listen, Nikola Jokic very rarely has off nights, but one thing you'll learn about me is when I report on this team, I keep it very honest. I don't really keep it as, not professional is not the word, but we don't like filter what we say. And the reality is I'm just kind of in these moments on this show, I'm kind of more of a fan than anything else. But what's hard about Nikola Jokic is when he does have an off night, I'm going to put that in air quotes because an off night is still a triple double for him. When he does have an off night, though, it does show just how much he impacts the game and how even if he has a supporting cast, he is the anchor that holds everything together. So even if he's off, and off is like, that's kind of a stretch even because, again, triple double for Nikola Jokic. He still did everything he needed to do, but off for him is detrimental to the team. It really is. And that is the sad reality of it all. So I think when he's got a backup center in Valanciunas that was cooking tonight in certain moments, that was actually showing that he can be of use in those non-Jokic minutes. Non-Jokic minutes are typically a death wish for the Denver Nuggets. However, tonight it didn't feel like there was that much of a lull when Jokic wasn't on the floor. So that's a very promising thing. That's something to be excited about. I love your hot take. I love the 58. I mean, hell, that would be fantastic. I would be very thrilled if that happened. And honestly, I have a futures ticket, you guys, on the Denver Nuggets. I think I tweeted that a couple of days ago that I have them winning it all. I think this team addressed everything they needed to address in the offseason, their depth, their defense, their size. They got bigger. And so it's very easy in this moment right now, just seeing how competitive the league already is, to feel like, oh gosh, we really should have gotten that win. But I also know this is the Denver Nuggets team back in 2023 when they won a championship, that they play a little bit better when they're underestimated. They really they like to be counted off. They like to be, no one has faith in us. No one believes in us. They typically play better that way. And the only thing I'm going to disagree with you on, Gianna, because I'm kind of a superstitious person, just a little. The year Nikola Jokic didn't win MVP, he won Finals MVP, which I care way more about. So the part of me, Yes, Jokic should be like a 12-time MVP at this point, and absolutely, I'm sure by the end of the season he should get it and deserve it. But we know voter fatigue is a real thing. So if he doesn't get it, I won't be all that sad because I'm going to hold on to the fact that maybe Finals MVP is in the cards for him and not regular season MVP, which I would be okay with because that means they would potentially win another championship. So
I mean, you
that
can't
would be
disagree with that one.
yeah, listen, I'm like, okay, if there's a world where I get to choose finals versus regular season, of course, I'm going to pick the finals. But to your point, Jokic, again, even on an off night, he's got better numbers than the majority of the league. So you
Mhm.
do expect him to have an MVP caliber season and put up MVP numbers all season long. I think that's the expectation. And I don't see why he won't. I mean, he's literally gotten better every season he's played. So I think that's why this game felt so like, whoa, what was
Mhm.
that? He didn't look like he was super engaged. He looked a little slower. He didn't look like he was super in shape. That being said, maybe there's a world where Coach Adelman and the entire coaching crew is saying, Jokic, back off. They need to figure out how to win a game without you. Like, we cannot
Mhm.
do the whole Jokic saves us every game, which we've seen the Jokic heroics many times in the Denver Nuggets many games and many postseason runs. So maybe there's a world where he's just kind of taking it easy and letting the team find their rhythm, get their groove, and figure things out without him, which I also can't be mad at that because I do think there's a world where the supporting cast just has to step up this year.
I agree. Another thing that I was excited about, I mean, I felt like Denver looked really physical tonight, and the Warriors just kind of looked overall small, like compared to Denver. They were
Mhm.
overmatched physically for sure. So that was an exciting takeaway from tonight as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, the size of Denver has never been something that you can kind of tip your hat on, but I do think they got bigger and that's a really exciting thing. I think, you know, again, there's nobody played a perfect game tonight. Well, let me backtrack. Aaron Gordon was about as perfect as
AG
you
went
could
off.
possibly get. Yeah, AG is just one of those guys where he's already a phenomenal player. He is Mr. Nugget. He is phenomenal. But being lethal and being dangerous and being reliable and clutch from the 3-point line elevates him to a level that I just think is kind of untouchable in so many
Are we
ways. So
seeing all-star
the
potential there?
I think so. If Aaron
Yeah.
Gordon keeps playing this way, I think there's some absolutely all-star potential. I mean, he is the core of this team. I know the obvious answer feels like Nikola Jokic. Jokic is the core of the game, but I feel like
Mhm.
Aaron is the core of the team. Like he is just the guy that truly holds everything together. So seeing him play that way was very exciting, and I'm very excited, and I hope he continues to play that way because if he does, hell, the Nuggets should and could, as far as I'm concerned, go all the way. So that is the goal. Any final thoughts from you before I just start ranting and raving and being an emotional psychopath? I just want everyone to know this is Gianna. She is joining the Gorilla Sports family. She will be covering the Denver Nuggets for us, an infield
Yes.
reporter, a beat reporter, if you will. I don't know what do they call it nowadays. Infield, not really field because I guess it's a court. Yeah, infield. That's what
Yeah.
I would call it in
Either
my
or. They
yeah,
both work.
I'm like, it's a field. You're in the field, whatever. So our infield beat reporter for the Denver Nuggets, she's going to be helping us out, which I'm so excited about. So anything else from you? Any final thoughts? Anything you guys want? I'll look through the comments while you keep chatting and I'll see if anyone's asked any questions for you or anything. So
Perfect. Well, yeah, super excited. Happy to join you tonight, Liv.
of course.
But excited for this Nuggets season. I think it's going to be a fun one. Excited to see how it'll shape out. So go Nuggets.
I know. Go Nuggets. And thank you for all your I'm already just gonna thank you in advance for your work that you're gonna do this season because it's a lot, but you're used to that. You're used to
Oh
many
yeah,
games.
sports
So
are life.
yeah, you're very familiar with if you're familiar with the baseball life, then 82 games will probably
The
feel like
long season.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's like nothing.
doesn't really compare on that end, but
I know. I guess the only adjustment will be the late nights. I would say that's the
Mhm.
thing where I'm like, even nights like tonight where I'm like, oh, I think I actually was texting you earlier today. I'm like, if we get overtime, let's pretend we don't get overtime, then we'll film it this time. And sure enough,
Jinxter.
just like I did. I know. Maybe that was my fault. I think I was the reason. So I won't do that again. But either way, we are so excited to have you and we'll for sure. My plan is to just involve you in these post game shows, maybe toss you out in
Yeah.
Ball Arena. I would love that. So you and I will be in touch. And of course, you guys make sure you give her a follow on all things. So are you all over social?
I am. TikTok, Instagram. It's pretty much just my name spelled out with some underscores in there.
Perfect. Yeah, just throw in a couple underscores. That's honestly the way to do it these days.
You'll find it.
Yeah, someone out there has your name and they already took it like back in '08 or something crazy. Well, it was so wonderful to have you on. We will for sure have you on again. I will actually be at the Nuggets game on Saturday.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm going there with FanDuel and we'll try to link up. We'll try to say hello and meet in person for the first time. But the next time I do a post game show, hopefully it's a home game and we can toss to you from live from Ball Arena with all the tea and the inside scoop.
Oh yeah, I'll be ready. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll get a win on Saturday.
Fingers crossed, fingers, toes, everything's crossed. Thank you, Gianna, for joining us, and we will see you Saturday.
Thank you. Nice to meet all you guys.
Bye. Oh my gosh, you guys, so excited to have her joining the team. I just think it's first of all, love seeing more women in the space. Always, anytime we can get more women in the building, I'm like, woo, woo, woo. But also to get you guys more angles and opinions and different things of the Nuggets games. Because you guys know I can't be two places at once. Unfortunately, wish I could, but I really do enjoy these post-game lives, and I did not want to give these up. I like to be here chatting with you guys. So let's get into it. Okay. I've got a couple of thoughts. You guys know, that I'm a very honest person when it comes to this Denver Nuggets team. So let's get right into the honesty piece of it. Okay. CB did not do enough at all. And I think coming off of re-signing a deal, a pretty good stinking deal that may make it hard for this team to pay a guy like Peyton Watson. That was a really big investment that they put into CB, and I'm not holding him to one game to start the season. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not holding him to one game and saying, oh my gosh, what a waste of money. Never that. CB is phenomenal. We know the type of baller that he is. I think what I saw tonight from CB, we have to figure out what his role is now. There's so much help, and the supporting cast does really add a lot to this Denver Nuggets team. Now we've got to figure out what CB's new and modified, I guess, but what his new role looks like when you've got a guy like Cam Johnson, you've got depth on your bench. He's got to now figure out what that looks like for him. And it just looked like he was out of sorts. He didn't look super confident. And I think, maybe that's just kind of the first game jitters, getting them out of his system and feeling it out. So you got to get more from CB. Can I address the elephant in the room? Do I have permission? Say yes in the chat if I have permission. No, this isn't actually a bad thing. But what I'm going to say is I love Bruce Brown so much. I love Bruce Brown so you guys know this. Don't hear this and think I'm a hater, because I'm not. I love Bruce Brown, and you guys know I do. This one's more for the haters out there. Bruce Brown is not all that different from Russell Westbrook. Oh, don't shoot the messenger now. Don't do it. Okay. Bruce Brown and Russell Westbrook have a few similar moments out there, okay? And so one of the things I want to make sure to hold everybody accountable on, all those Westbrook haters out there, because you guys know I'm at your neck at all times. What I'm going to hold you accountable for is, this is another great example of you take the good with the bad. Bruce Brown is always going to give you 100%. He's going to hustle. He's going to get in. He's going to be fighting in traffic like crazy, okay? Because he's not afraid of it. But every once in a while, he might miss a wide open layup. He just might. He might miss a layup that he had no business missing. This is an example of you take the good with the bad, okay? Same as Russell Westbrook. Same thing I try to tell you, some of y'all haters, a million times last season, is you take the good with the bad. Bruce Brown has some Russell Westbrook tendencies in the sense that, he hustles, he brings the energy, he'll always take the shot if he feels like he's got it. He's very confident. The only difference is he's been on the championship team and Russ hasn't. But by the way, there's some similarness there in the way that they play. And again, I just urge you to remember, you take the good with the bad with players like that. They're not always going to be perfect. Okay. I want to talk about another player that was far from perfect, and that's Cam Johnson. Can I tell you, though, what I think the biggest difference is between Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr.? Here's the deal. I felt like when Michael Porter Jr. when his shot wasn't falling, when he wasn't hitting his shot. And if you've known and watched the Denver Nuggets for a while, you know what I'm talking about. When his shot wasn't working for him, he lost all his confidence. He virtually stopped playing altogether, is what it looked like a lot of the time. What I can respect about Cam Johnson and what I hope he continues to do, your shot's not always going to land. You're not always going to make your shot. You're not. But you can still make a play. You can still get involved. You can still play defense. So what I like about Cam Johnson and what I saw tonight, I saw a lot of people on Twitter, on X, whatever you call it, talking about you. Ooh, Cam Johnson. Ooh, don't know about that. Yeah, I get it, but when you've got Aaron Gordon lights effing out 100% from the 3-point line, you don't need Cam Johnson to be that guy, okay? This is the beauty, and this is something that Nuggets fans, myself included, are going to have to get a little familiar with, is when you have a supporting cast, you don't need your starting 5 all at once to be amazing all at once every single game. You don't need it. This is a team sport, team effort, okay? So you're going to get a lot of games where Cam Johnson is bricking every shot he takes. But he's still balling. He's still making plays. That's what I struggled with when it came to Michael Porter Jr. is when his shot wasn't happening for him, he lost his confidence and he stopped playing altogether. He wasn't making plays. We slowly watched MPJ from the 2023 championship run until when we traded him, just a shell of himself. And it's because unless he was dropping 25 plus, he wasn't playing. He just kind of was like, I'm done. This is not for me. It's like, no, your size, forget your shooting. Yes, that's what makes you great. But your size alone puts you in another category. You can still make plays. And there were some games that he did. I'm not going to say he never did that. But there were some games that he did step up and he was attacking the glass, rebounding like a madman. I would hammer his over every single time he had a rebound prop because I was like, he's an animal when he's really trying. But we watched him become a shell of himself over the course of the last couple of seasons. And so what I hope that Cam Johnson, the type of player I hope that he shows he is even if, what am I missing? Even if his shot's not working, which tonight it wasn't. He struggled offensively in his debut as a Denver Nugget. That's a fact. Even if he struggles offensively, he's still making plays. That is what I want. That's what I can respect. So Cam Johnson, no, didn't look great in his debut offensively. You just need to make plays. That's it. When you've got Aaron Gordon playing the way he did, setting franchise records, personal bests, lights out from the 3-point line. Aaron Gordon, if he continues to play this way, is not only on track for All-Star, he's climbing to the All-Star category at the moment based on what I saw tonight, but also this is a guy that you don't need Jokic to do a whole lot if Aaron Gordon looks like that. Now, do you want more from Jokic? Absolutely. Like I said when Gianna was on, and now I'm just going to get right to it. Jokic didn't look good, period. Okay, period. And the reality is, yes, he still had a triple-double. Yeah. No, I know that. His version of being off is still some people's best. That is true. And what I actually appreciated about this game is the Nuggets found a way to make plays, keep it close, continue to score, even with Jokic being off. Now, the one thing I got to say, felt this way last season, feel this way this season. Can we get some offensive boards ASAP, Rocky? Thanks. Okay? Thanks. Need it. It's not optional. It's mandatory. We got to have offensive rebounds stat with swiftness immediately. Okay? We can't have that. Because you are going to have nights where Jokic can't make a 3 to save his life. You are going to have nights where Cam Johnson can't make a 3 to save his life. But get in there and get the boards. Please. Please. And Valanciunas, I want you under the rim just yamming on folks all night long. That's what I want. Especially because we're losing one of our guys under the net because he's lighting it up from the 3-point line. And I don't blame him. If I were Aaron Gordon, I was just swishing one after the next, I wouldn't leave that either. You got to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. You got to give yourself some wiggle room. And to me, that's offensive rebounds. You have to. You're not always going to make your shot, but for the love of God, give yourself a second chance at it. For the love of all things holy. Speaking of holy, holy God, what is Aaron Gordon on? I want some of it now. Whatever he's got, I want it now. Here's what I do want to say, though. I do want to say this, and I'm kind of going to zoom in here for a second. I feel like I'm a little far away from you guys. What's up? Hey. Oh. You guys see me moving my camera without moving a muscle? Yup, she's a professional. Here's the deal. It should be and I'm going to actually, you know what? Let me bring this microphone closer to me just a little bit because I actually got a little pissed off tonight. I'm not going to lie. Oh, it feels like 2023 all over again, which I hope it is because we won. Didn't we? We did. So I actually hope that's exactly what's happening here. But I am so over. Oh my God. I'm not even like a Doris Burke hater. But girl, can you put a little bit of bass in your voice when you're talking about Aaron Gordon, please? Oh, 7 of 7. But Steph Curry drains a 3. And my God, I think they fell out of their flipping chair. Put some bass in your voice when you talk about Aaron Gordon immediately. Because what are we talking about? They were so casual. They were so casual about Aaron Gordon tonight. I was like, no, that's not all of them. But there were a couple of moments where I'm like, guys, put some bass in your voice when you talk about Aaron Gordon right now, because this is crazy what's happening. And we're not talking enough. I think there's a good amount of Denver Nuggets fans that are, but we're not talking enough about the improvement Aaron Gordon has shown as a shooter. You guys, I used to be shaking in my boots when he went to the free throw line. The free throw line. I remember it like it was yesterday. When he would get to that line, I was like, oh God, here we go. Here we go again. Not this again. It's true. When he started lining up for that 3-point shot, I was like, please don't shut it down. Please don't. We are not talking enough about his improvement as a shooter. Hell, we didn't talk about it enough last season. And he improved significantly his shot last season. What we saw tonight from Aaron Gordon, he said at Media Day, he talked about it. After all the injuries he had to deal with and all the things, he said, this is the best I've felt. And boy, did he mean it. I'm sorry. And call me crazy, guys, but I got to say this really quick. Forgive me. It was very, very much abundantly clear who spent the most time in the gym this summer. Yep. Oh, yep. And by the way, I'm pretty satisfied outside of Jokic, wanting a little bit more from Cam Johnson, more from CB, more from Jokic. Fine, whatever. Okay. Besides that, I'm pretty happy with what the Nuggets did tonight, right? Like, you showed me you've got a supporting cast around Jokic. We got a backup big. Thank God, praise Jesus, that it can actually do something, okay? Aaron Gordon is a monster. Jamal had some playoff energy early, okay? We usually don't get this energy from Jamal, this poise, this confidence, this swagger about himself until like flipping April or May, okay? So the fact that I'm seeing it now, yeah, me likey, a lottie. Now, here's the deal, though. I can tell who was in the gym all summer. That's a fact. And I'm not even being a hater to those that I can tell weren't in the gym as much. But you watch a guy like Aaron Gordon, you can't tell me that basketball was not his number one priority in the entirety of his offseason. That man was training, period. When he kept hitting those threes, guys, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. After like number 3, I was like, there is zero luck involved. This man has been shooting his ass off in the summertime. Like, wow. I mean, we got to give a little bit of love here to Aaron Gordon for what he looked like. I mean, who was in the gym? Well, I can tell you right now, I mean, just based solely off of Aaron Gordon recovering from the injuries that he had last season, Aaron Gordon, and I also think Jamal looks way better. But you know what's interesting? I think Jamal was doing a lot of mental gym work. I think Jamal just had to get back into a zone or a mode where he wanted to play basketball at a high level. Like, I think the thing about Jamal, and that's what's always so confusing with Jamal Murray to people, is you watch him literally, you can see it in his eyes when he flips the switch. And it's like, what? Who the hell is that? Like, what are you talking about? So to see him early, first game of the season, starting it off like that, it's like, whoa. Whoa. He was in the gym. He was in the mental gym. Jamal Murray was. I think from what I can see, Jamal Murray to me is in a much better mental spot than he's been since probably the 2023 season. Now, I'm not going to make assumptions as to why that is, but what I can say is I think this is probably some of the best chemistry that this team has had collectively since 2023. I'm not blaming one person or the other because we also know there was a lot of behind the scenes drama and hoopla between the front office and the head coach and Coach Malone. Okay. There was a lot of extra hoopla going on there that made it very hard for these guys to do their job, period. It did. It just made it hard. So you eliminate some of those factors. I'm not even going to talk about the players that we got rid of because, whatever. But it does make you wonder if this group is seeing things the same way. Because Jamal, he looked like he was really in a completely different mindset, mind space, headspace. He was in a very different headspace. So that's a really exciting feeling. So I think AG was absolutely in the gym all summer long. There's no doubt in my mind. I think Jamal was doing a lot of mental exercises this season, which, oh, guys, I'm playing a video by accident on X. I got to tell you, X is a creepy little thing because every once in a while I'll accidentally open my phone and I'm like, whoa, what is that? That is not something that I was trying to see. What? Seriously. I'm so serious. What was I saying? Aaron Gordon in the gym. Yes. Jamal in a mental gym. Jokic didn't look like he was in. Now, listen, guys, one game. I already know. I'm not overreacting by any means. I'm just, I'm speaking about this one game. I don't want to say I don't think CB was in the gym because that's not fair. I just don't think CB right now knows his role. Does that make sense? It just looked like he was not sure where he fit into this madness. Do I think there's a place for him? Well, I sure effing hope so after dropping a bag on him, right? I would sure hope that this coaching staff knows exactly how they plan to utilize CB, considering we just wiped out the bank. You just, what you paid CB was an investment. Yep, you're investing in him. So I would imagine the coaches have something figured out behind the scenes as to how they're going to utilize CB. This was one of the best players in transition last season. Yeah, I said what I said. Okay. He was dangerous in transition. Dangerous. So we've got to find a way to implement that in with everything happening. And I think you're in a good spot. So I don't want to say CB wasn't in the gym because that's not fair. I just think, really, I think the mistake, I really just think AG and Jamal to me had the biggest glow up, if you will, which is funny because I don't even think AG really needed to glow up all that much, but he did have a lot of injuries that he was battling. So you just wanted to see him get his body right. And I just think, frankly, Jamal Murray, headspace wise, was really off last year. And as a Nuggets fan, I can be very honest and say it was very frustrating to watch because I know how good he can be. Jamal is the type of guy where when he wants to be good, he's unbelievable. And I honestly, this is an assumption I'm making, but there were games last season that I watched with Jamal Murray where I felt like he just was just kind of meh. He was just existing out there. What I saw from him tonight was a little bit more of that spark back. He looked like he had some spark back. He looked like he loved basketball. That's the best way I can put it when it comes to Jamal Murray. There were many games last season that I questioned whether or not Jamal Murray loved the game of basketball. And this game right from jump to start the season off, he looked like he had his passion back for the game, and that is huge, huge. Because he's a quiet leader, but he is definitely a leader, and he's one that the Nuggets cannot win without. So if Jamal Murray's locked in, now here's the deal: the game was lost by the Denver Nuggets, right? Like I could sit and rage about it for, I'm sure, a couple of hours, but here's the reality of it. Here's the reality, guys. The Warriors are just good. They are. They're good. They're good. They're good. And if you guys, you know what? It feels like I have a shard of glass on my eyeball. Like, what do I do about that? Seriously. Like, what do I do? Help. I have a shard of glass on my eyeball. Okay. I'm waiting for someone in the comments to be like, it's probably those caterpillars on your eye. Shut up. Anyway. And you're right. I probably do have a full eyelash into my eyeball poking at my retina. I guarantee you I do. So anyway, the thing about it is the Warriors are great. I knew this was going to be a competitive game. I knew it. I didn't have any doubt in my mind. And I just think it's tough to play there. It's tough to be on the road there. And if you let Steph Curry get hot, he gets that smirk on his face. He starts shimmying those shoulders. And I'm like, oh, shit. Excuse my potty mouth, but I'm like, oh, shit. What in the world? Like, oh no, I knew it. The moment he started shimmying those shoulders and sticking out his tongue and smiling, I was like, yep. This is going to be a long night. So Steph is just Steph. At the end of the day, there are certain games that you just kind of have to bow down and give Steph the all hail, because that's what happened tonight. I mean, he absolutely carried the Warriors on his back, won the game for them, and there wasn't a single Denver Nuggets player that could stop him. That's just the truth. Even if they wanted to, and I think they really did. It's just like, you've got to let a great player like that just be great sometimes. There's not a whole lot that you can do. Because the moment you start smothering Steph Curry a little bit, guess what? Oh, here comes Grandpa Al, who, by the way, I love. I love Al Horford. I really do. Honestly, if the Nuggets would have picked him up, I would have been thrilled. You got Al Horford from the corner. Uh-oh, don't count him out. You've got whatever that dude's name, Willie. Who the flip is really Willie Richard? I mean, honestly, like some of these names, I'm like, you did not just let this Willie Richard guy just drain a three on your head like that. Are you kidding me? It's true. They've got shooters, guys. They're good. I mean, seriously. That's the thing about it. I'm a little ticked off with Steph. Like, can you just let Aaron Gordon have his moment, for God's sake? Like, you don't need to take it away. And he did, though. He did. No, I think anyone watching that game is giving Aaron Gordon the absolute respect that he deserves. Really quick, guys, just to keep it really honest with you, this hairstyle, not great for a big forehead. Okay, I said it. If we're being honest, every time I look down at the screen, I'm not looking at the comments. I'm looking at my forehead. She's honest. She is. And she is her biggest hater. You can't out-hate me. Sorry. You can't. You can try, but you won't be able to do it. Okay. Any final thoughts from the chat here, you guys? I think I'm in relatively decent spirits after a loss, despite, I know, game one, Liv, chill out. I don't ever chill out. First of all, you should know that by now. I don't like to chill. Never have, never will. Chilling's not for me. But I think I feel optimistic because the one issue I have complained about the absolute most has been the lack of support around Jokic. And tonight, I was able to see that there is support for Jokic. That is all while not really getting the best out of CB, not really getting the best out of Cam Johnson. But you had a backup center behind Jokic that was cooking quite a bit. Love to see it. Jamal with a little bit of swagger. The swagger we don't usually get to see until May. I'm serious. Aaron Gordon, unbelievable behavior. I mean, he's a flipping animal tonight. I know for a fact he's getting drug tested tomorrow. That's what they do. You pop off like that, they're like, pee in this cup immediately. But you know what's hilarious? Anyone that follows Aaron Gordon knows this. He was in the gym, folks. He was putting up shots. He was working hard. That's what he was doing. And it shows. It really shows. Goodness. Yeah, that's kind of all I've got, you guys. I think ultimately there's a supporting cast, and that's a really great feeling. And ultimately, that was a really, I'm not going to say really, that was a bad game by Jokic. And I know, cuckoo, didn't he have a triple-double, Liv? I know what he'd had. I saw it, guys. Of course he did. Of course he had a triple-double. But here's the deal. That was not good. Okay, here's the thing about Jokic that I have said this. I can't even tell you how many times I've said this. I've said it so many times. Jokic is the type of player that when I'm telling my little Jimmy, that's my future son's name. Every time I talk about my future kids, for whatever reason, I always say Lil Jimmy. I know for a fact he will not be named Lil Jimmy, but that's what I call him. So when Lil Jimmy says, Mom, who's the GOAT? I'm going to say, listen here, son, sit down for a second and let mama talk. Nikola Jokic is the GOAT. Mommy, what did he average? Oh, I'm going to tell you, Lil Jimmy. Shush. I'm going to read off the stats. But that won't do enough. That doesn't do justice to Nikola Jokic's game. And I've said this a million times. You can't just look at a stat sheet and know what Jokic is about. You have to watch this man. So from a stat perspective tonight, he was great. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. He's a little, maybe not great from the three-point line. Triple-double. Most people wouldn't complain about their center getting a triple-double. I'm not most people. Yep, it's true. I am not most people. So most people would not complain about that. Well, to the stat line, Jokic had a good night. To the eyeball, he did not. He didn't. So I think Nuggets fans who know and love and watch Jokic religiously understand that this was not his best performance. And we also understand you're not going to see him perform like that very often. Okay. So if you can hang with a Warriors team that has a red hot Steph Curry, okay, and Jokic is kind of having an off or a bad night, we're in a good spot, guys. The Nuggets are still dangerous. We're not going to let this loss confuse people. Actually, let them be confused. Woo! I just shook my computer. Let them be confused, actually. I think I'd like it if they were confused because when people doubt this Nuggets team, they go ballistic. They go buck wild. Also, quick little note here before I log off because my eyes are getting heavy, guys. Seriously. And I'm also sweating. I think that game gave me a bit of a medical episode. Here's the deal. Did you see what I saw? Did you see Coach Malone saying he wants to go on record and say he is not done coaching yet? Well, the Trailblazers might be hiring. Uh-oh. I mean, truly, though. I could see him there. They're going to need a coach soon, I think. Anyway, okay. I've had a lot of people asking me about my thoughts on all these scandals and crazy, crazy stuff going on. We'll chat about it. We'll chat about it tomorrow on Mood Swings, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. You already know the deal. And just so you guys know, for these post-game live shows that we're going to be doing after Denver Nuggets games, I'm just going to kind of pick the best game of the week. If there is high demand, Liv, we miss talking to you and you're our favorite. Doubt anyone saying that. But if you happened to say that, maybe, just maybe, I would add another game in during the week. Maybe if you beg. But for now, because it is a very long season and we're still also covering the NFL, we are going to do one game, best game of the week, go from there. And we're going to just ride this season out together, guys. I've got a futures ticket on the Nuggets to win it all. I do. The other thing I'm going to say, because I think most of the people watching here are Nuggets fans, so this is a safe space. Call me a hater. You can call it whatever you want, because I am totally a hater. That's a fact for sure. SGA, what did he have? 26 free throws? It's unwatchable basketball at this point in time. I got to tell you the truth. It's unwatchable for me. For some of you, you still enjoy that nonsense. I can't do it. I can't. The game was on in my living room the other day, and I said, shut it off. Why are we watching this crap? I can't do it. So, Your post games are the best by far. That just makes my heart swell, Robert. Thank you. No, you guys, I really love doing these, and I think we saw a lot of success with them. We had a pretty big community that was built last season, and it meant a lot to me that you guys were kind of toughing out the year with me because it was not an easy one. That year, last year, was very emotionally like distressing and just like like I don't know. There's something about that year that was so last season just felt very exhausting, and I think more so emotionally than anything else. But I really, really do. You guys, come on. You guys are so sweet. And I really seriously love you tons. These are fun for me. They are, because I think if I didn't talk to you guys about it right after the game, I would just talk to myself. It's way more fun to do it with you. And I know we're all feeling the same way. We're all stressed. We all wished that was a win. But I think we all also saw some really positive things to take away from that game. We're not too deep in the season yet where I can be like really, really ticked off. You know, listen, last season, losing to the Washington Wizards, yeah, you already remember how that went. Oh, Robert Paulson? Did I say it wrong or something? What's happening here? Hello, Gorilla Capturing. You don't think OKC is going to be that elite this year? God, I think they will, unfortunately, but my gosh, I can't watch it. It's not basketball anymore to me. It's not. Oh, it's from Fight Club. I was like, what is the correlation there with Robert? Okay, sorry. There was a went over my head. Phew, quick. I do think OKC is going to be elite this year. I do. Sadly, Gregory, I just can't watch it. Like, okay, let them go all the way and win another one. I don't care. I don't want to watch it. I'm not watching them. Okay. If they're playing my Nuggets, they will be on my screen. And if they're not, I'm not watching them. And you can call me a hater all you want. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's unwatchable basketball to me. I'm sorry. It is. And I am entitled to that opinion. I'm entitled to not watch them. And that's exactly what I'll be doing, is not watching them. Okay. So there you have it. So if you get in here and you say, Liv, did you see SG? No, I didn't. I didn't see it. And I'm not going to see it because it will make me mad. It will make me mad mentally, like a madman, and it will make me angry mad. So we're good. The Magic should have some fun this year, right? Okay. So you're going to have a fun time hanging out with me on my show, we're just going to have a good time, you guys. I really do love and appreciate you all. I'm excited that the Nuggets season is back. It's a long season, but we're in this together. If it's not long and exhausting, like, then you're not having fun, right? Like, we're supposed to be up late. We're supposed to be screaming, crying, throwing up. It's just how it goes. That's how it is to be a Nuggets fan, and we're going to live in it and love it and just have a good time. So I love you all. Go Nuggets, as always. I don't know is my Wi-Fi wigging out? I think it is. I don't know which game we will be covering next week. I actually have a work trip to New York next week. So I just need to take a look at their schedule. But just know I'm going to do my very best to get you guys a post-game live every week. At least one. And if there's maybe if there's a week where they're playing both the Timberwolves and the Lakers, come on, we might have to make an exception, right? Like, there's certain games that are non-negotiables here. So just keep me on, give me a follow at Liv Moods, give Gorilla Sports a follow, obviously, and just stay in the know about all the things. But the post-game lives are back, baby. And I cannot wait to do this with you guys. I love you tons. I really do. I think out of all my little communities that I have, I do a lot of little things in my life, a lot of jobs in the world of sports. Out of all my communities, I got to say, oh, we are going to have to do T-Wolves Monday, huh? Yep, there it is, because I leave for New York on Tuesday. Perfect. Okay, post-game live show coming at you Monday against our rival. Oh, God, I don't know if I can do it. Oh, I'm going to have a heart attack already. Okay. There you go. You'll see me Monday for another post-game live show because we have to discuss the Timberwolves, obviously. So we'll be live on Monday, and then I leave for New York on Tuesday. So yeah, you guys, we're just gonna dive headfirst into this Nuggets season and have a really good time doing it. So, like I was saying, out of all my little communities of all the things I've got going on, by far my post-game Nuggets community is my favorite. So I love you all. Go get some sleep. It's late. If you're on the East Coast, like, what are you still doing here? And I'll see you guys Monday. And I also have a Mood Swings episode tomorrow, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you feel like hearing a little bit of NFL and NBA talk, a little more generalized, not just Denver sports, then check me out tomorrow, Mood Swings, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. And of course, we'll catch you for another post-game live show following the Timberwolves Nuggets game on Monday. We have to, right? Like, we have to. It's not optional. So love you guys. Lots. And we will see you tomorrow for Mood Swings and Monday for another post-game live show. Okay, I'm signing off because I'm tired.